A very warm good morning to my dear students. Today, initially, I, Gaurav Kafri, your biology teacher, want to welcome you in a new section as I know that you all are new in a new stream, all the teachers are new, all the subjects are new. But I hope so you will do much better in this classroom and you will achieve the heights of your future. So, I'm going to tell you one thing. Better don't be panic whenever you feel any kind of difficulty. Whenever you feel any query or you have any query, without any hesitation, you can contact to your subject teachers. Okay, I hope so. As being your class teacher also, I hope so that you will score much better marks in this classroom. So, without wasting time, I am going to introduce our biology syllabus of this session. So, I am going to tell you what are the different units, what are the different contents which we have to discuss this year. So initially I want to tell you that this year in the biology class or biology period we will follow only the NCERT. Why we are following only the NCERT? Because there is a reason behind it. For NEET exam, for any other competitive exam which we have to appear in our future also, NCERT is the Bible for these exams. Means all 95% question or most of the questions are asked in the competitive examination or even in the board examination only from the biology content. So beta, I will try to explain each and every paragraph of this book, each and every word of this book, each and every content of this book. Don't panic, don't hesitate. Sometimes you will feel that some of the words of the biology are so typical. Now, beta, if you will read these words very smoothly and if you will split these words, you will feel that the meaning of these words is too easy. So, don't hesitate, don't panic. It's not a very difficult subject. It's a very simple or interesting subject. Why it is interesting subject? I am telling you that in this subject we are going to study about our body structure. We are going to study about our body functioning. So if we are able to know about ourselves in future, we will never fail. ठीक है, we will never get any difficulty, we will never feel any kind of difficulty in our life. So be enthusiastic and now start your studies from today onwards. And I am quite happy that you all are in my section, and I hope so, and I am sure that you will score very good marks in the examinations, upcoming examinations. Now I am going to tell you that what are the contents. Now in this year we have to discuss or we have to study about different five different units. And what are these units and what are the chapters included it, I am going to tell you. Now the first chapter which we have to first unit which we have to discuss is diversity in the living world. In this chapter we have to in this unit we have to discuss about four different chapters: the living world, biological classification, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Later on I will discuss about them in detail. Right now I am going to summarize them. Now in the second unit we have to discuss structural organization of plants and animals. In this unit we will discuss about the morphology and anatomy of the flowering plants as well as the animals. Now the third unit is structure and function. Now this unit includes the structure of the cell and structure of different cellular organelles, their functions, as well as in this chapter we will discuss about various biomolecules like DNA, RNA, carbohydrate, protein, fats, and finally we will discuss about two types of cell cycles, meiosis and mitosis. Now after that in the third unit we have to discuss in the fourth unit we have to discuss about plant physiology. We have to discuss here about how the transportation occurs in the plants. We have to discuss how the mineral nutrition takes place in the plants. We have to discuss what is the process of photosynthesis and what are the various events of the photosynthesis. We have to discuss how the plants in plants respiration takes place, how the glycolysis and Krebs cycle is going on, and finally we will discuss about the plant growth and development. What are the different kinds of plant movements and what are the different plant growth regulator hormones, we will discuss about them. At last we have to discuss about the most interesting topic of this year, unit of this year, human physiology. In this unit, we will discuss about the digestive system, we will discuss about our respiratory system, we will discuss about our circulatory system, we will discuss about our excretory system, we will discuss about our bones, our muscles, means our locomotory system and movement, and the system which is helping in the movement. And finally we will discuss about the neuroendocrine system, means initially we will discuss about the nervous system, then finally we will discuss endocrine system. So I am not wasting much more time in the explanation session. I am directly coming into the first topic, and the first topic or first lesson of our biology is the living world. Okay, now, so I am coming in this chapter. We have to discuss what are living things, and we have to discuss diversity in the living world. We have to discuss about different taxonomic categories, and we have to discuss about taxonomical aids. So right now today I will discuss only first topic, what is living or what are different living things. Okay. Okay, I want to start the chapter, but I just want to recall your previous knowledge also. I think in class 10th the first chapter was life processes, and I am sure that you all know that what are life processes. Definitely, if I will ask a question that what are life processes, so you will answer, sir, the processes which are essentially required for the sustenance of the life or for the maintenance of the life are called life processes. So all life processes which are very important or which are very essential for maintenance of life, to sustain life, are called life processes. Now my next question is, what is living or what are living things? If the same question I will ask to my daughter who is studying in class 5 fifth, definitely she will be able to answer. So you will also answer that, so these animals are living who are having such kind of activities, definitely you will answer like it, but I need a appropriate answer. Okay, so I am going to initiate what are living things, because it's a one way communication. So I am going to tell you that what are living, and how can we say that the particular organism is a living organism. Now, what is living? Though the word living cannot be defined as such, there are certain distinctive characteristics exhibited by the living organisms. I mean to say that whenever we are talking about a living organism, not only a single characteristic is there, there are a lot of the characteristics which are present in the living organisms. Okay, now what are these living organisms? What are these characters? We have to discuss about four major characteristics which are present in all living organisms, and these characteristics are: the first one is growth, the second one is reproduction, third one is metabolism, and the last one is ability to sense surroundings, or simply I have to say that a living organism can respond to stimuli. Now uh, I'm going to start one by one. Now if you are observing here, there is a highlighted sentence, all living organisms grow. Now we can say that along with the life processes, what are life processes? You know very well that. Okay, life process, nutrition is a kind of life process, respiration is a kind of life process, circulation is a kind of life process, reproduction is a kind of life process, and excretion is a kind of life process. Along with it, I will discuss some other characteristics which are very essential for being a living organism. Now the very first one is growth. Now what is growth? Simply, if I will ask a question in an open class, so you will answer that, sir, if anybody is increasing in size and mass and number, we can say that it's growth. You are right, absolutely right. So I am not going to modify it, but I am not going to rectify it. I am little bit modifying this sentence. Growth is a kind of irreversible change. Growth is a kind of irreversible change, uh, in which an individual increases its cells or its shape or its size. In other words, I can say that growth is a kind of irreversible increase in the number of cells, increase in the size of cells, or increase in the shape of any structure of living organisms. Now, growth is indefinite in plants, while it is definite in plants, in animals. Now, how can I say that the growth is indefinite in plants? Now, the plants, if you will observe any plant, you will find out that the plant growth occurs continuously throughout their life. Means throughout the life cycle till their death, they're regularly increasing their shape, their size, their branches, their leaves. It means the growth is unlimited, or we can say that continuous in the plant's life history. While in animals, growth is restricted to a certain period of time only. Okay. Now if you will observe a human being, when it is in the infant form. Okay, when it is in the infant form, its size is quite low, and suddenly it starts to increase. Then the age of the teenage, or then we can say that till 19 year, it regularly in the living organism, or the suppose I'm talking about a human being. A human regularly increases its shape, size, number of cells, everything. Okay, then after you will observe that the size of the human doesn't increase. It doesn't mean that the humans are not growing, because many of the cells, our body cells, are regularly dying, and they are replaced by some other cells. So in the other words, I can say that in animals, growth is restricted to certain period only, but cell division occurs in certain tissues to replace old and worn out cells. Is it clear? So growth occurs in all plants, animals, as well as some microorganisms also. Now, the second very important characteristic feature of the living organisms is reproduction. Now, what is reproduction? Very common question, and I think you know very well that what is reproduction. In the previous class, there was a whole chapter related to the reproduction, so I am not going in detail. Reproduction is a biological process. I am telling you a biological definition. Reproduction is a biological process in which an individual produces its own kind of fertile offspring. Now, what I am saying, it's a biological process by which an individual produces its own kind of, its similar fertile offspring. यानी कि एक ऐसी प्रोसेस जिस प्रोसेस में कोई इंडिविजुअल अपनी ही तरह की बिल्कुल सिमिलर एक फर्टाइल मीन्स विच इज ऑल्सो एबल टू प्रोड्यूस new offspring. Is it clear? Now, you know very well that the reproduction can occur by two different means or two different ways. And what are these ways? Sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. We have to discuss it in detail in the next chapters also. So, but I am not leaving it. I am little bit explaining it. Asexual reproduction is a kind of reproduction in which only single parent is involved to produce its offspring. Offspring means new generation. Okay, and the offsprings which are produced through asexual reproduction are identical copy of their parents. They are similar to they are very much similar to their parents. Now, then the next thing, what are the different types of asexual reproduction? You know very well that fission is a kind of asexual reproduction. Budding is a kind of asexual reproduction. Okay, fission occurs in amoeba. Budding occurs in hydra. Similarly, fragmentation occurs in very simplest category of plants like Spirogyra. Then regeneration occurs in the lowest category of animals like Planaria. Okay, and some have spore formation means like most of the fungi and algae are producing spores, and these spores are produced in unfavorable environmental condition, and whenever the spores are getting favorable conditions, they are going to germinate and they are going to produce a new kind of individual. So accept it, many plants undergo vegetative propagation in which they accept flowers or reproductive part. Any vegetative part is responsible for production of new plant, then it is called as vegetative propagation. Okay, this is a kind of asexual reproduction. Is it clear? Now, you will observe that there are certain animals. You can say that, sir, there are some organisms, some animals which are not reproducing at all. Are they living or non-living? I am giving you some examples like mule, खच्चर जिसको बोलते हैं हम कॉमन लैंग्वेज में, and similarly honeybees. Generally, those honeybees which we are observing around us are the worker honeybee, and they are sterile female. They are not able to produce their offspring. ठीक है, there are some exceptions which are produced due to the various reasons. They are not reproducing, but we can't say that if they are not reproducing they are not living being, because they are exhibiting some other life processes, so we are including them into the category of living organisms. Okay, now the third statement you are observing here, other characteristic of life, metabolism. Now metabolism is the third one and very important one, characteristic of all living organism. Now what is the meaning of metabolism? I want to explain it. Now metabolism means it is a sum total of all the chemical reaction or biochemical reaction which are taking place inside a cytoplasm of the cell. Means all the chemical reaction, because if we are alive, to make us alive there are various chemical reactions are taking place inside our cytosol or cytoplasm. Some of them are anabolic process, some of them are catabolic process. Now what are anabolic process and what are the catabolic process? Beta, this is very important term. If I want to write metabolism in a single sentence, I have to write metabolism equals to catabolism plus anabolism. Now what is anabolism? Anabolism are body building concepts. Now what are body building concepts? Like photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, food is going to produced, and this food is stored in the cells either in the form of the starch in plant cell or in the form of the glycogen in the animal cell. यानी बॉडी में कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है, कंस्ट्रक्टिव प्रोसेस है एनाबॉलिज्म. While catabolism is a destructive process in which destruction occurs. Like in respiration process, the glucose breaks down into carbon dioxide and water, as well as a huge amount of energy is liberated. So this is the example of catabolism, destructive process. Why anabolism is a constructive process. So if I am talking about metabolism, metabolism equals to what? Anabolism plus catabolism. Okay. So metabolism is the very important characteristic feature of the all living organism. Now all living organisms are made up of small and large size of chemical compounds, since we know that, which carry out different functions and they are constantly being synthesized and used. So what happens inside our body? Our body is made up of various chemical compounds, and these chemical compounds may be either small in size or they are larger in size, and they have to perform various kinds of functions. And inside our cells regularly they are continuously they are being synthesized, or they are going to be degrade, or they are breaking down, and once again the products are once again synthesizing and they are utilizing once again. So we can say that the catabolism and anabolism are regularly going on inside our body. For example, if you will see, what is the equation of photosynthesis? 6CO2 plus 6H2, C6H12O6. And what is the process? What is the equation of catabolism? This C6H12O6 which is produced in photosynthesis is going to break down, and if you will observe it, just opposite, the respiration process is just opposite of the photosynthesis. So we can say that the metabolism is very important in the living organism. And the last one I want to discuss, this is response to stimuli. यानी कि all living organism uh, have consciousness and they are responding against the stimuli. Now I am giving you some examples. All organisms, either it is prokaryote or eukaryote, either it is very simple organism or a complex organism, they have ability to sense the conditions in their surroundings. Now they are able to sensitize what is going on in their environmental condition, and they are responding accordingly. Means all living organisms have capability to respond against any stimuli. Now what is stimuli? This is the topic which we studied in the control and coordination chapter in class 10th. Stimuli is a kind of internal or external change opposite to an it's a kind of internal or external, it's a kind of change either in the internal environment or the external environment, against it an individual responds. So such kind of stimuli may be physical stimuli, these might be chemical stimuli, these might be biological stimuli. Okay, now I am giving you some examples. All living organisms are responding. For example, I am giving a very simple example. uh, Photo period means the amount of time or the period of time in which the sunlight is available. It's called photo period. And you will surprise, you will be surprised if I will tell you that there are some flowering plants, okay, which are going to determine this photo period, and only in a certain period of time they are showing flowering. You can easily observe that mango flowering takes place in which season, or in most of the plants, flowering plants, flowering takes place in which kind of season, because they require a fixed duration of photo period or duration of sunlight for the flowering process. Similarly, there are some breeders also. Some specific animals breed in a specific season. This is also the example of the photoperiodism. ठीक है, except it you studied a lot about the geotropism, you studied about the phototropism, you studied about the chemotropism, you studied about the gravitational pull. ठीक है, geotropism, these all are the examples of the responses against any special kind of stimuli. ठीक है, so I mean to say that, and finally I want to say that all living organisms have consciousness and they can respond well against any kind of stimuli. This is the topic which I want to discuss today, and tomorrow I will meet you with a new topic. And in this topic I will start what is biodiversity, and what is the need of the taxonomy or the classification. Thank you for today.